on to part 2 of texturing. So I accidentally saved mine as TGA and then closed it, so I had to cut out the individual parts and do it again, so my layers might not match up with yours, but I'll just show you the part I'm selecting anyways, and we can still do the same thing. So anyways, I decided after looking at the mailbox and milk shape that I really didn't like the stock GIMP texture, so I got this wooden texture. It's also going to be included in the download, but here it is. It's called woodtext.gp woodtext.jpg. Alright, if I can just find it here, give me 1 second. Woodtext.jpg, and so open it up, and we're gonna be replacing this GIMP pattern fill with this wood texture. So go ahead and press Control C just like we did last time. Control plus V to paste it into the layer, and choose the layer with your wood. So this part. So see how it's outlined. So choose that. Right click alpha to selection, select grow by 1 pixel, go back, turn on visibility in your new wood layer again, and press Control plus X to cut, Control plus V to paste, and go ahead and delete your the rest of your pasted wood texture. So we got this now. Now what I told you last time we were gonna do, let's just save it and see what it looks like, just to make sure it doesn't look like crap and on the actual model itself. So go ahead, go back to Milkshape, save the texture file, go back to Milkshape, reapply the texture, and it should, yeah, that looks a lot better. Personally, I think that looks a lot more like wood. Alright, now you can go ahead and close the wood one. Now what I told you last time was we were going to add some actual detail to this model this time. Probably a little bit of transparency. Maybe I might do a sequel to this tutorial on animating the thing and making it shader ready. We'll probably do that this time though. I don't know how I'm going to fit all these on YouTube, but anyways. Now I don't like the look of this wood. It looks too like desaturated and not realistic. So let's go to colors. You should find it in this top bar. Colors, brightness / contrast, and move this down so you can see the layer. Up the contrast. Yeah, up the contrast to 50, and put the brightness down to -25, and hit OK. Control plus S to save, and I just want to see what it looks like. So let's go back to Milkshape, reapply the texture, and bam, yeah, there we go, a lot more like wood. You guys can use whatever wood texture you want. If you want to find one off CG textures or whatever, feel free to follow the same steps and basically just do the same thing, just with your own texture. Alright, now let's go back. This part is way too dark for a mailbox, so I'm gonna merge all the layers which have the base metal texture which I created, and I'm gonna lighten them up. So right click on the layer you want to merge down, right click, and there should be a simple button called merge down, and merge down, that'll merge these two, then merge that down one more time, and that'll merge basically all the parts with the base metal texture. Now go to colors, brightness, contrast, up the brightness to, I don't know, just play with them. I like I'm gonna say 25, and then contrast down to -5. Yeah, and then Control plus S, save. Just save so you can see what it looks like. Don't close the don't accidentally close GIMP or do something stupid like that, and then you'll have to start all over. But yeah, just don't do that. Looks a bit better. I mean, I didn't really look at any reference pictures when I modeled this, but let's go ahead and look at some right now. yeah, see, this kind, it's a lot more shiny than ours. I guess ours is just a much more grungy mailbox. You guys, I told you, you guys can use whatever metal texture you wanted. You didn't have to follow mine. It's kind of hard to explain all the steps and do a good model at the same time, but that's my fault. Next tutorial I'll do a much better one. I apologize. Alright, it's a little bit too bright for me, so I'm gonna ramp the contrast up to 5 so we can get rid of that contrast change we just did. Up that to 5. So let me go over the steps we did. We did brightness contrast on the wood. I think we did a brightness level of -25 and a contrast level of 50, and we did a brightness contrast change on the metal part. I think we upped the brightness to 30 or 25 and took the contrast down to -5. Then I upped the contrast back up to 5. So basically just negates the contrast change. So Control+S to save and go back. Let's try. I'm just gonna play with this here. You guys can do. I'm just gonna try blurring it. Maybe that'll make it a little bit more like metal. Control+S to save. Go back to milk shape. Reapply the texture. Looks a bit more like metal, don't you think? I mean, yeah, it does. And if your model ever goes like out of your view, just hit right click, reset view, and let's make our viewports big again. And yeah. Alright, so we made some texture seams appear there, so let's fix that. Let's duplicate this layer again. I'm sorry about taking you guys in circles. Duplicate the layer, press M to move, and then move it down instead of up like we did. And yeah, so Control+S to save. That should have taken care of the UV seams, hopefully. Sort of. I mean, yeah, it's good enough. Now let's make this part just stands out way too much on this model. So this part. So let us darken them. Let's first merge the parts which have this color. So let's see. Yeah, that part does. This part does. Move this layer up, or move this layer down, or I can't do that. Why not? What the hell? Okay, something's funky. Alright, we'll just have to do it manually on each layer then, because my GIMP won't let me do it. Alright, I'm gonna cut this part out of this layer, because that's where it is. Cut. Control+X, Control+V to paste, and now let's see if we can move it down, or we still can't. Alright, I'm just gonna do manual editing. So make sure you selected this layer, go to colors, brightness contrast, and up the contrast to, I don't know, 25, down it to -50, down the brightness -50. So the settings are brightness -50, contrast -25. Repeat it for this layer. Colors, brightness, contrast, brightness -50, contrast 25. Okay. And go ahead and save. Go back to milk shape, reload the model. And bam, it's a lot darker. Yeah, it looks a lot better to me. I mean, it's not standing out as it was before, so I think that's good. Alright, yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and add some scratches to this red part, because it's looking way too clean compared to the rest of the mailbox. So duplicate this layer, duplicate the layer, this red layer, and go back to your bucket fill tool, Shift+B, pattern fill, choose a paper pattern like we did before, then fill similar colors. So click on it, you should get most of it filled, and then go back to layers and hit overlay instead of normal. That should give you a pretty nice amount of grunge on there. If you'd like more, you can just duplicate the layer. Right click, duplicate in my case. Right click, duplicate, and yeah, more grunge. I'm gonna reduce that to 50. So duplicate it twice. The top duplicated layer, reduce opacity to 50. The bottom one, leave it at 100, and you got a pretty nice grunge effect. Control plus S to save. Again, go back to Milkshape. Reload the texture. Yeah, it's a lot more definition there. We have a lot more definition on that texture. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I'm just not happy with the wood. Hold on while I try to dig up something else.